Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast from your host, Pearl Dane. The one, the only master of propaganda, hero like defender of the fatherland, of it in the... Not evening, but, 1v1 here on Bocage. In the north, it is Nanami, fighting for the Oberkommand. West is Germany, Deutschland. I was just briefly distracted by my cat there. I think wants me to throw the toy mouse from so I can fetch it again and I can throw it again. But anyways... Nanami here with Luftwaffe Ground Forces Special Operations and Elite Armored here, fighting up with the Kampfgruppe Maya with Triple Infantry to the south. It is Goddess National fighting for America, Freedom, Democracy. The 2nd Armored Division here with Airborne, with Pathfinders, 50 cals, Paratroopers, Anti-Tank Guns, and the P-47 Rocket Strafe with Grenade Range and Double Infantry there. Luftwaffe Ground Forces, Spec Ops, and Elite Armored. Could we see Luftwaffe maybe? Airborne versus Luftwaffe is always a bit of interesting in my opinion. But either way, off to a aggressive start here. Both sides focusing on the eastern side. Interesting enough, Nanami is more focusing on disrupting Goddess National's resource rather than securing its own, it seems. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patrons, supporters, these champions, these heroes of the Propagandacast, my own personal company of heroes. You too can join their spectacular and almost legendary ranks by pledging on Patreon yourself. You can just follow the example of Andrew and donate. Links in the description for the Patreon or PayPal. And you can always just comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button as well. Or depending on what you want to do. Bit of skirmishing around here though, as we see here, Nanami charging forward, but Goddess National is ready here. The Rifleman focus down the Sturmparty first. Very good prioritization there. The Sturmparty simply want to do a lot of damage fast, but they also tend to crumble fast if they get any like major focus on them. So Nanami here with a disruptor opening that is very much getting disrupted here by Goddess National, using what you typically do against these, which is you just play much more tightly as the allies, in which case you can typically disrupt these kind of openings. So here, Nanami should just focus on like just grabbing more territory rather than trying to throw off Goddess National's opening. Had Goddess National though played more aggressively and more spread out, this would have worked beautifully for Nanami, but in this case though, Goddess National was ready. Because typically against the Oberkommand, there's like a 50-50 chance they're going to like either, just go for a more direct capping order, or they're going to try and disrupt yours. I mean, depending on skill level, but at the higher skill levels, it's roughly 50-50. Give or take. Anyways, back here for Goddess National, we got Triple Rifleman there, we got Triple Full Shot there for Nanami, but they're really off to a bad start because again, they barely got any points now, and again, Goddess National, well, certainly didn't get a lot more, still got a few points, and they'll start getting more territories. Nanami now is going to be, of course, trying to catch up here. Ambulance filling up here for Goddess National for Freedom and Democracy. Bravo Squad securing the western points there. Got the reason flying over the M1 carbine because the false gun is getting shot up close. There we go. Heinz and Harry drop both dead there. We got full catch and squad here. And looks like Nanami is still going to try and keep pushing for the opponent's fuel point. That is very determined play here by Nanami. Very determined, almost recklessly so. I'm not entirely sure why they're so obsessed about this. I'm guessing they're hoping they can somehow bait Goddess National into like, doing something silly with it. But now it almost seems like they're the one doing the silly stuff. But maybe I'm just missing out on something. But it seems like now Nanami is... Now I'm going to try to kill the fuel point directly. He's going to keep hunting after Goddess National's forces. Just going like a hunter-killer mission. Interesting enough. They've also got mines here. So really focused just being as absolute disruptive as they can without really gaining a lot of resources. This is very aggressive and a fairly bit dangerous as well in my opinion here from Nanami. But I mean... it's certainly unique. It stands out. I mean, typically, again, they'll try to kill some territory here, but Nanami just seems to like almost think like grabbing territory is more like, something you just do casually while you're more focusing on what matters the most, killing Americans. However, Lieutenant, if you have objectives, yeah, killing the Americans. 9, you need to secure these points. Kill the Americans? Oh my god. Why did we get this guy as an Obersturmbannführer? Anyways, we got rest from the Rifleman reaching down the fire from the Volksgruppe and the Sturmpioneer truck on the way there for Nanami, so taking up that has got to be a battle group headquarters because they're not getting a lot of fuel with the current approach. They are not getting a lot of fuel. I mean, admittedly, they're ensuring that neither is Goddess an astronaut, but technically they could be building some sort of actual fuel advantage. But there you go, absolutely just brutally beating him by just fighting around these 2 points and forcing Goddess to fight around in most uncomfortable manners. They got Lieutenant where they're probably going to be seeing some 50 cal to help defend these. Truck arriving. We'll have to see what Nanami follows up with here. But yeah, actually they need to hit the point here as well. So they haven't actually cut off Goddess not entirely from the resources. So I imagine they're on there. They're getting caught here by their fighting position by the base. Always one of my pet peeves that they're so base defensive for some reason. You cover a point almost. They need to be a bit more careful about that. Anyways, grab these some fuel point there. Very good. Truck setting up. Well, I don't know. Still no doctrine here though from Nanami. Fortunately they've got a bunhunt going off in the midst of the Americans. Lieutenant out. Fortunately they're trying to finish up the sandbags. Taking too much damage. Going to have to retreat. Sturmpunia backing off. And of course there's that mine here. And no mines for the Guards National because, of course, who would lay down mines if you're playing so aggressively and disruptively? I mean, you sure wouldn't lay down mines. That'd just be, you know, even more disruptive. There's gotta be a limit to how disruptive the Germans can be. I mean, come on, they're crowds. They can't be that disruptive. They started World War II, Sergeant. World War what? What do we call this war anyways? I don't know. And go out from the Volkswagen Sturmpunia. Reasons advancing. May just hit the mine there. I mean, I guess they'll be doing the mine sweeping just on the way to the advantage. Getting flanked here, though. Yeah, this match continues to be a bit on the exotic side of things in terms of like just what happens. See, Sturmparts closing wiped out. He definitely going to be painful there for Nanami. Truth reinforcing. No healing yet. Battle headquarters up. No doctrine yet, though. And still no clear plan from Nanami here against Guards National. Besides, again, just kill as many Americans and disrupt the income as much as possible. Okay, we've got Luftwaffe ground forces from Nanami. Still not really getting a lot of resources, and again, just so utterly focused on killing Americans. But they got Fallschirmjägers now. Alright. Are they dropping? Oh, they're dropping right next to the fuel point. Okay, again, just Nanami absolutely going in deep. Folks, they're being routed. Lieutenant falling back in the side of the Fallschirmjägers. Hey, look, it's Superman. God damn it, that's not Superman. That's a German Fallschirmjäger. But that's bad news, though. Get out of here. Grab the point there. Grab the points there. Again, the map looks a bit unique there. And again, Nanami barely has any map control. Though they do have a victory point lead. Troops reinforcing healing here. We'll have to see, of course, he does. Probably going to go for the Steward Light Tank here. Probably going to go for that. We got victory point being seized. They grab the fuel point, then grab some more points in general. Steward Light Tank on the way there. Expected for God. And I need something to deal with all that infantry. Needs something. Battlefield headquarters, they're being upgraded to the mechanized element. And we got the medic on the way there as well. Very standard stuff there. Finally something standard out of Nanami. Finally something standard. Something that is, you know, not wild and, you know, off the cuff. I'm sure he's chafing at it though too. Grrr. Anyways, got Rifle and Lieutenant Chatton and folks on the west side. With no grenade assault here, I don't think it'll do much. In the Banhunt grenade is merely going to be a mild inconvenience for those Americans. A mild inconvenience. Pushing for the curve points again, once more just sneaking right behind there again with much more greater force concentration. It becomes a bit more risky here for Nanami. If they're not careful, they could get just wiped up by a blob and retreat. And there goes Stuart Light Tank out. Bit surprised that God International hasn't tried for the 50 cals here to try and stop Nanami's aggressive infantry tactics in some way, but oh well. Stuart running here now. It's going to catch Nanami's in a bit of a sandwich position here. Infantry on one side, Stuart's on the other. And there they're stuck with the Fallschirmjägers. Still getting some map control going in there. Fun here for Nanami, finally. But Kenner following up in response to the Steward. Fallschirmjägers also retreating. And go just hitting the retreat there. Reasons went on the mine strips in case, of course, more mines here from Nanami. Very sensible, very sensible. But Kenner almost done. Also back the Rifle Squad there. Steward racing hit there for freedom and democracy. There we go, like Kenner for that. Grab the Eastern Car Point. Grab the other point there, linked on mines as well. Thumbs up to Nanami. Good work. Took reinforcing. Healing eventually. Wait, where did medics go? Oh, they haven't upgraded the medics. Okay, it's just like, wait. They just vanished into thin air, but no. It's because they haven't been upgraded. That explains everything. Apparently not even reinforcing the troops, just sending that again. And there's a surprising turn of events. Grabbing points here and there. Sturmpunia reinforcing may throw down the medical supplies, I guess. Hitting the fuel point, hitting the munitions point. Nanami starting to get slightly more conventional. Let's now go for the fuel point on the west here. Just a tiny bit conventional, though still fairly unconventional. Still a fair bit. Flak half-track on the way there. The 251-17. Mine spotted, they're not dealt with.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Stuart there, about to come into fire from the Kidnapper, except the Kidnapper can't hit. Flak half-track halfway done. Got BARs up there for Guardians National, increase of course the firepower of infantry on a one-to-one basis, definitely giving a better chance here versus Nanami's Volksgrenadiers and Fallschirmjägers. Excellent, in particular when they're low in health, the BARs help a ton. Flak half-track right about done, Sturmplan is good to go. Fallschirmjägers follows around the Escalation, Raab squad also falling back, and there you go. Sturm going in, heavily damaged, engaging the Fallschirmjägers who retreat alongside the Volksgrenadiers, taking no chance of their Volksgrenadiers troops. Yeah, they're going to get wiped. There's no chance to make it back from that. Now, I mean, again, playing a high-stakes, high-risk game here versus Guardians National is definitely paying a fairly high price for it at times. There you go. Looks like another wipe there, almost. Yeah, I think they suffered 2 wipes there. That's my memory deceives me. No, it did not. So that's quite painful there for Nanami. I mean, that's a lot of manpower just straight down the drain. That is a total of 520 manpower just into thin air. Or in this case, into the ground.
Our resource sector has been cut off from our supply chain.
Flak up against the lieutenant here. Raab squad routed. Manpower flow, they got an anti-tank on the way. They'll have to deal with the flak half-track. Of course, any potential tanks Nanami may eventually get them with the current set of fuel there. I mean, that's going to be quite some while off in the future here. Quite a while. More cannon than Nanami, very good. Guards National could, of course, consider maybe some paratroops, some more elite infantry with light machine guns here, or Thompson's versus Nanami's troops. I think that could be a good investment. That could be a good investment. As for Nanami, they may, of course, want to eventually consider replacing some of those infant losses. I might expect Fallschirmjägers, but maybe not. But pushing these again, here again there for flak half-track, all making the push there for Deutschland and the Kampfgruppe Meyer. Second again, we're ready here for Nanami. By 1944-45, they mostly would have seen usage like, you know, they were, by the way, only produced in small numbers, but primarily would have been used with like stuff like the Fallschirmjäger divisions, as they technically needed something, you know, lightweight, like, you know, all around there. So they technically would have received like Raketten as though. Yeah, no, that was it, really. I mean, the reality is, like, was sort of a weapon that, like, they came up with when, like, they initially deciding the pantry trait. They weren't entirely sure, like, you know, this just needs to be, like, an anti-tank, and it could just, like, you know, have a guy lug it around, you know, fire it at the enemy without wheels, and, you know, they end up, of course, with the pantry trait as being the superior design, but they still end up, just, you know, constructing a bunch of these Raketten F-43s. But again, they're sort of more like curiosity. They have more range and accuracy than the pantry trait, but in the end, it's just much more practical, just like, you know, not needing something wheeled to pull about. One hunting out of there. Puts the Raab squad, Lieutenant. A lot of firepower there from Guardians National. 5th gun on the way there finally for Guardians National. I'm a bit surprised it took him so long to consider one. And he's still throwing a lot of manpower. I really feel like you should just be pushing hard to get Nanami now. When you have an upper hand there like that, and again, just more infantry or support weapons could do a lot here versus Nanami, but for a reason, it seems like Guardians National perhaps is a bit unsure as to what to do because Nanami is just completely going in like a berserker after happy hour. Back here, reinforcing healing, but Guardians National keeps pressuring here across the entire front line, hitting the calf points. Very good there. Thumbs up, fixing up the steward. Very good as well. Could take up now for the major. Instead, we got the second 5th cal here. Definitely feels a bit late. And there you go, Nanami with the second Fallschirmjäger squad. That's going to be a lot of Fallschirmjägers. 5th cal there being hauled forwards. It's only being shot to bits a bit there. Stay advancing, trying to stay clear of the main path. I think the main line of resistance, I would say, is more likely the best way to put it. Ensuring they don't just get like the entire attack stopped by a single 5th cal, that's very sensible. Steward here going cop with the double Raketten Airflows. Raab squad riding on the west hit with the Sturmpioneer and the Volksgrenadiers. Good hit on the Steward, they're almost taking it out. Push is going exceedingly well here for Nanami as Guardians National. They, I think, position some of their elements too forwards here, making it easier for Nanami to just bypass them, and also just making it harder for Guardians National to form a cohesive defense. which is really important versus a very aggressive player like Nanami to be like put up a cohesive defense. But right now that's just not happening, and Nanami is just going absolutely bonkers. Calling in some smoke bombs here, I think, to sort of guard out the positions of his opponent. Also in this case, pops the smoke down in front of the 50 cal. Try on the Nanami going to the schwerer punted quarters. They probably won't be able to go for any tanks anytime soon, but still, by going for that, they can upgrade the Fallschirmjägers with the second set of FT-42s, increasing, of course, their firepower significantly, which is going to be a real problem there for Goddess and Astronaut's infantry. Mines down the west, and there we go. Got the truck out there. The schwerer Wehrmacht-Schlepper. Back here, troop reinforcing. Got the major out there for God is an astronaut. Tanks are not too far away there. You got 460 versus 364. Despite everything, Nanami actually has a fairly good lead in terms of victory points. So God is an astronaut. That's certainly something there worth noting. Fulton's got the sandbags down in the centre. On the west side, we've got the Sturmpioner catching the right spot here by the western victory point. Fifth coming up, catching the Sturmpioner by the western victory point. He's got the Sturm up in the game. The Volksgundiers there. Kenneth was moving in to deal with that. In the centre, got a big push here by Gods and Astronaut. Going straight for it. Catching Nanami in a slightly weaker sector of this front line there. And there you go, forcing retreats already. Very good. And the flak half tank can't use the support, so it's going to get shot to bits there by the anti-tank guns. And these here. Got the Stuart, though. Too much going for the Gods and Astronaut. Allowing here Nanami to knock out with the double kidnappers. Good there for Nanami. And that definitely leaves God as an astronaut slightly less mobile for a few moments until he gets out the Sherman tank, at which point back in action, and probably even better. Got hit on the flak up tap with the anti-tank gun. Popping smoke, needs to disengage, obviously. West we got Ralph Court, there's the Fallschirmjägers. Schwer punch quarters almost done. Ralph Court there being slowly gutted by the German infantry. Just reinforcing healing. Got that medics upgrade now, and there we go. Can begin upgrading the Fallschirmjägers with the FT-42s if, you know, he had the munitions for it. Mine hit there on the car point, plus got the Schwer Pounder quarters. They're not authorised yet, but I think in this case he might have spotted and just didn't take the chance for it, allowing it to maybe rev up. Plus, I mean, it upgrades fairly fast, so, you know. I mean, it wasn't like upgraded, it could very quickly become upgraded and you had false retreat anyways. Sherman on the way there for God is an astronaut for freedom and democracy, the M4A3. North here, Fallschirmjägers, they're pushing back the Ralph squad. They're capable of backing up just in case of any shenanigans there from God is an astronaut, but also perhaps just to grab territory along the infantry to other stuff. I mean, again, Nanami is just really aggressive, just always pressuring as much as possible, always attacking, always on the move, always trying to force God and an astronaut to be the one to react to his maneuvers. And we get a third Fallschirmjäger squad. Now, that's not something you see every day. I said, I feel like he could be more aggressive with this Fallschirmjäger from the west, but, you know, to keep up with his current state of affairs. But there you go, third one dropping in, flak half tech, Sturmpioner on the move here. We'll have to see how Goddess reacts to be up against 3 Fallschirmjäger squads. I imagine some players might start to get a bit nervous about that when they encounter so many green devils. But they're wondering they descended into green hell. Fallschirmjäger 5 from the Lieutenant. 5th cal firing away there. Showing the move there from Goddess and Astronaut, their 5th cal being added. High explosives ready. Fallschirmjägers need to retreat. There we go now. In fact, it's probably too late now. Vobel's bars firing at them. And there we go. Full wipe. Highlighting just the lethality of the Sherman's high explosive shell. They just one shot and almost got the entire unit wiped already. Quite painful there for Nanami. At least they didn't have them upgraded with FT-42s. So there's a small, shall I say, silver lining to that. But even then, that was still pretty bad. I mean, that was an elite infantry of 340 manpower that just went down the drain. Flak happening forte again, just aggression, pressure, attacks, Deutschland. Entertainment about to clear out there as just Nanami charges forwards. No mercy shown here to Goddess and Astronaut. His men being swept aside. The Ken's moving up here. But obviously they tried to destroy it, or they tried to grab the anti-tank and turn against Goddess and Astronaut. Folks, they're being handled by the Shem, which of course remains a significant exemplar of American industry here. Black half-track trying to push infantry. There you go. Fallschirmjäger fortifying up an infantry. There you go. Bunker at the Ralph squad. Wipes one of Goddess and Astronaut's infantry squads, annihilating it in its entirety. Ralph squad, there's a press. Sherman being slowly pushed back by the kidnappers. if they had enough troops, they could actually grab the anti-tank in here. Of course, they may do so. Oh, they're just going to salvage it for fuel. That's actually not a half bad idea either. Back here, troops reinforcing. We got 391 to 360, trying to salvage it, but the Fox going to take too much damage. Calling a force retreat there. Sherman down to a quarter of health here. Flag half taking the troops from advancing on the anti-tank gun, and we get a third fighting squad here from Nanami. I mean, they're going to be ages away from any tanks. I mean, just relying on elite infantry to like hold the line until then, I think makes a lot of sense, to be honest. But obviously, it's going to be a bit manpower intensive. Try and destroy the anti-tank gun there. And he rushes it! Oh, he tried to rush it at least, you know. Okay, he's actually making it work! He's actually making it work! Ah! Sherman rushed in there, but it's going to be impossible in front of the Raketenwerfer! Yes! Oh, Gott im Himmel! Nanami's got balls of crooked steel, that's for sure. Troops reinforcing healing. Apparently decided to collect every Iron Cross imaginable. Troops reinforcing healing. Troops setting out there. Got the Fighters flanking the rifle squad. Sherman away there for God is an astronaut. We got the Stuka smoke reconnaissance on the way there. Almost got another rifle squad wiped. His smoke from there prevents the units from assisting. There we go. Gets the wipe. He does manage to get the wipe. They got it. National. He's trying to take a real beating here. Despite having tanks in the field, Nanami's just incredibly aggressive infantry tactics. He's just confounding him. And he's just leaving him not inside shows what to expect. Ground for the eastern point here. Ground the center with the full screen of these. Sherman almost done. Up north, we've got the Stuart Pioneers using the western field point. Very good. Second Sherman on the way. This is going to be Nanami's up against two Sherman tanks with just two Raketenwerfers and you know, a lot of gumption. Also lost another fighting squad with the one with AT-42s. We got paratroopers now here for God's National, realizing, well, he's thinking if he can, his opponent go for a lot of them, perhaps he can too. Going for the light machine guns, though. Maybe it would actually be better with the Thompsons, since they probably are actually much better fitted for countering Nanami's aggressive tactics. That's just me. Shown on the west, they're going for the full screen of these. There, 10 kills. Slowly approaching Veterans 1 there. Very fast, actually. East side here, we got the Fox and the fighting which back the rifle squad there. And the west here, double kills going for that Sherman. Hasn't picked up the BAR. Major being hammered. In the east here, we got the Sherman racing forwards. Now, Nanami, of course, is aware that he's up against two Shermans here from God's National. Troops being routed here as God's Astronaut is aggressively on the pursuit here. Back troops reinforcing healing for Nanami. Bit of action getting prepared here. Like infantry positioning. Flak half tank to do some repairs. Though nothing major. Mines on the car front. Very good. Thumbs up. Close going to be able to go for a tank here. Oh, God is an astronaut. It's not too far away from a third tank. Troops setting up from the base there of Nanami. Let's see when they get further upgrade. There you go. God is an astronaut going for more paratroopers. God damn those German with the paratroopers. Well, we can do the same thing too. Send in the Screaming Eagles. German said, yeah, we'll show some screaming. Anyways, paratrooper and the Foxmaker's getting immediately killed there. Comes up the Sherman. Send those paratroopers rounding. And there goes Sherman down. God, it's an assault. Once we're completely caught unprepared by the sheer aggression that Nanami puts on display.
Enemy forces now have 300.
Fighting fortunately in westwards here. Sherman sitting out there for God, it's an astronaut. Flag half taking westwards there.
Losing a capture point.
Panzer 4 model again the way there for Nanami. For Deutschland. Sherman sending westwards there. Catching the infantry off guard. As they got 90 tank support here. And of course the Fallschirmjägers have no Panzerfaust anymore. Bottom retreat there. Very good. They kept coming up though.
Point is under attack.
Need to treat those before they get hosed though. There we go. Shot misses though. Knocks out a nearby market stall. The Kev's being blasted with a flak half track, which is actually 2 does extra damage versus infantry now, or anything really. that's definitely painful there for God. It's an assault infantry. Paratroopers moving up there with the rearstance and everything else in support there. There you go, more light machine guns. The Thompson's all there for God. It's an astronaut. And saying they get a great on the flag half track. We got 290 versus 356. God, it's an astronaut now has the victory point lead versus Nanami. And there we go. Panzerkampfwagen 4. Gefechtsbereit. In the west, we've got the forces of the paratroopers. In the center, west, paratroopers moving forwards there, backed up by the anti-tank gun. Flag half track indeed some repairs. We got the Mega there with the BAR. Sturmpionier could try and put more pressure on the right flank, but looks like he might want to keep it to reserve. It's just able to fix the flag half tank, of course, the Panther 4 swiftly, which makes sense. Grazers there got absolutely murdered. But there you go, anti-tank and getting a great hit there on Nanami's Panther 4. Thumbs up there. Looks like God is an astronaut for now, has stabilized versus Nanami, and the Germans has weathered the absolute mind-numbing storm here from the Germans. Got another anti-tank being airdropped here for God is an astronaut. Very good. Thumbs up. Provides valuable anti-tank firepower. Of course, shoots 50% faster than most other anti-tank guns, which are roughly the same class, meaning it can very quickly demolish light vehicles and medium armor if you're not careful. Due to, like, you know, gut trouble, then they can very quickly just deal the amount of damage and so take out like any medium or light vehicle. And there you go. Focus what wiped out with the parachute from the Sherman again. God, National now the one delivering a ton of damage here. Nanami struggling a bit here to now survive this. As God is an astronaut has had enough. He's had enough. Bocage reinforcing. Another Fallschirmjäger squad for Nanami. Nanami clearly not allowing themselves to be out airborne by the Americans of all, you know, armies. So he's going to go for triple Fallschirmjägers once more. Another Sherman model for the God is an astronaut. 233 versus 348. Got smoke bombs as well. I imagine in part just to scout out what exactly God has up to. There we go. And shot down, actually. Almost hit the steel bindings in the Panzer IV. Good shot though by the gunner down the 50 Sherman there. Good shot. East side got Lieutenant Graham Eastern Point. So what will an enemy try and do to really like turn this game around? Because now Guardian Astronaut looks much stronger with a lot of firepower, a lot of tanks, and just overall got a better grip than what Nanami is up to. Ambushing the Sherman, decent shot there. That said, of course, with the smoke bombs, they did nonetheless get an idea there, but God, it's an astronaut's position here, so like they might be able to exploit that for a really good push. There we go, catching the anti-tank with the Fallschirmjäger, clearing out the crew. That could definitely get painful there for God, it's an astronaut. And there you go, second Sherman rushing forward to the front line. As reports are coming in, the Germans are on the move. Sherman sitting in there, close to 2 here, focused on the Lieutenant and the 5th Cal on the east here. God Astronaut trying to turn the game around here versus Nanami by counter-attacking on the flanks. Thumbs up there, that's definitely a good idea there. Panther forming up, backed up the Ken for there in an ambush mode. Get on the Sherman. West side there, a bit of quiet, but still a bit of advancing as well. They almost got the Sherman. If you take that, it'd be great there for Nanami. And there you go. Another Sherman combusts it. The crewman sent flying into the hedges. His body to be consumed by the squirrels. Forces pressed with the Lieutenant and the 5th Cal there. Very good. Can soon go for another Panther 4. We got 204 versus 339. Anti-tank that's being hauled forwards here. Fallschirmjäger is not being upgraded. Panther will need to cap. There you go. That's going to get knocked up. The anti-tank and particularly things to pop the armor piercing rounds. And there we go. As you can see, the high rate of fire on the M1s mean that if you're once first caught in the line of fire, and there's 2 of them, your chances of getting knocked out actually goes up significantly unless you get lucky. And particularly, the opponent is also smart enough to use take aim and the other stuff. Like take aim in particular is great because it increases the range plus the line of sight to that being longest that of any of the anti-tank. And so combine that with a high rate of fire, it really means like medium armor can quickly be utterly demolished. It's just most American players never bother with like most of the abilities they've access to, despite them again being incredibly powerful. That said, he stands around a bit iron things in some ways, so that's maybe something that Nanami can exploit versus God is an astronaut. Of course, need to be careful with his own infantry. In the west here, flag being pushed back. Anti-tanks in this case actually missing quite a bit, which is very lucky for Nanami. Very lucky. Oh, that flag half track would have been a smouldering heap of scrap metal. Can soon go for another Panther 4. The Guard International can all begin going for more Shermans. Got 204 versus 322. And go another Sherman for Guard International. Major moving westwards. Sherman all over for Guard International. They're slowly getting ready. Sherman about here, moving about. So far, no damage to the Germans. Nanami's situation is currently a bit awkward since again Guard International is doing a fairly good job of constraining them.
The capture point is being overrun.
And losing that Panther 4 really did not do them Nanami any favours. Trying to swing eastwards. Not a bad idea with some counter-resistant in. Guard International might likely just begin bringing more forces to these, but that said, if Nanami can just get going fast enough, might be able to make it work. Flag Cup being able to support the attack is very good there, since being able to swiftly suppress stuff on the move is really good. As of course you're the one being suppressed. But on the move, but certainly on the go a lot faster.
The capture point is under attack.
Now the Panther 4 model here, they're for Nanami and for Deutschland. We got 175, 322. 2 Shermans ready once more for Guard International. We'll have to see if we can actually get up to 3 of them. But that said, actually moving everything towards the east does mean the rest of the map is actually open. I think Nanami might be banking on that as they move towards the centre here. Still not good for the fighting mates, but at least consider like maybe grabbing some BRs with them at least then. Getting another bit of smoke for constables. In this case, smoke screen in case you know they have 50 guards ready, but they don't. In fact, Nanami should now be able to spot again. They pretty much precision everything across this narrow frontage again, knowing it's quite effective as Nanami breaking in like head-on attacks, but obviously means they're not being defending anything else. So it's a bit of a gambit here, but Guard International, but so far seems to be paying off somewhat. But again, if Nanami catches on to this properly and starts exploiting this, then Guard International could get into a bit of a tight spot again. But there you go. GiaA there on the Fallschirmjägers. MD-34 on the way there for Nanami. Finally going for that. Purchase advancement strength to the flat half attack there, which is veteran 3. Slowly approaching veteran 4 and then veteran 5. Slightly moving about, they're probably of course expecting the anti-tank to move in and destroy it. Using take aim, 2 thumbs up, this Guard Sniper. Again, it's such a powerful ability, and I'm absolutely staggered so many American players know that using it. You can see they're just absolutely knocking out there the flak half track, and range typically won't expect most anti-tank guns to hit that easily. But again, take aim is amazing. So 2 thumbs up to Guard Sniper, just using a really powerful ability, which, you know, really should just be like standard in the American, you know, player repertoire, but for some reason it's like, you know, asking them to speak French. Le Grill? What the hell's that? Fighting was the Rabbit Squad there. Paratroopers major there, trying to claim the center from the Nanami's Fallschirmjägers. Ground was some pump with the Sturmpioniere. Jumping forwards. Got it on the paratrooper of the Panther 4. MD-34 there, finding ways suppressing the Americans, making it harder here for Guard International move forward. Got smoking down there. Thumbs up there to Guard International, good use of ability there. Panther 4 taking it from the anti-tank guns, once more blasting away there, very good, very good. 148 versus 317. More smoke bombs, and again more reconnaissance at the same time. Pushing forward to the Fallschirmjägers, the Raketen Werfers. Could be looking at another sort here from Nanami. Looks like not. Just to push for the center victory point for now. Panther 4 being fixed up. Jackson tank destroyer here from Guard International. That's anything picky. You'd almost think you'd maybe consider some artillery from Scots and mortars just bombard Nanami's position support weapons. Light artillery from Nanami is actually going for artillery. Thumbs up there. Thumbs up, very good. Oh, counter the Jackson needs for another Sherman. I mean, that's also definitely useful. I think it. Oh, goes for the Scots, so he's actually going for the artillery. That's good, good. On the other hand, another Sherman wouldn't be bad either, to be honest, but some artillery I think also would be great. Panther falling westwards, 3 kills. Nanami getting close to another tank here. Paratroopers are being murdered here by the Panther 4 and the Fox Cavaliers. Scott halfway down there for God is an astronaut. Jumping in, a great hit from the cannon, another punch straight for the sidearm on the east side. We've got the raft coming up there as well. Now the cannon, there you go, takes out the Sherman. Quite painful there for God is an astronaut. I'm surprised they didn't try to smoke that position with the other Sherman, for example. That's the first one to try to get out of there. But that's a great kill there for Nanami, and if they can exploit this opportunity, they might be able to overwhelm God is an astronaut. But they do, I think, need to pick up on this soon. It needs to get five spin catching the raft out in the open, pushing them back. There was some well executed fire here. Panther 4 falling up here. Looks like Nanami is starting to make that move now. Lightning gun also arrived, and tank sitting up there. Great hits on the Panther 4. They're pushing down to half health already. Nearly gets out of the arc of fire there though. Fifth cal dispersing the fighter makes, preventing them from cleaning up the anti-tank gun still. Looking to at least run to the point neutral. We got 143 versus 313. Fox the seem to have got in the west. Panther 4 need repairs. Can soon go for another Panther 4. And God is an astronaut. Probably should just go for more Shermans here. Pulling back the anti-tank, some reinforcement healing. That does mean though, again, if Nanami were to throw in some smoke and spot this, he could actually, I think, make a swift push for God is an astronaut's lines and actually break through, since without anti-tank guns, it's going to be much tougher for God is an astronaut to stop Nanami's panzers. So that could actually be an consideration. But there you go, line gun flying away there. Bombarding here. The 50 cal, very good, thumbs up. Immediately putting it to use against us for downtown Moikanon. In the west though, God is actually dispatching his elite infantry to sweep up the west side. Not a bad idea then, not a bad idea though. Again, if Nanami makes a hard push in the east, that could leave him exposed. Jackson now for God is actually, he really wants to go for that Jackson, it seems. He wants those tank destroyers. Need to fix up that Panther 4, can't go for the second one, there he does go for it. Thumbs up there to Nanami. To the Kampfgruppe Maya, and there you go, paratroopers advancing. Straight into a mine though, by the looks of it. There we go. Grab the eastern victory point. Undercover smoke from the light infantry Schutz. Thumbs up. Jackson almost done. Second Panther 4 almost done as well. That set east side is now wide open. Looks like God's that's another one trying to catch an enemy off guard. And get offensive. Definitely not a bad idea though. As long as Nanami then of course doesn't wrong foot them with a counter-attack at the right place and right time. Tank destroyer, Red Ralph got taking hits from the machine gun, line also bombarding. We've got one kill so far. Smoke though from God is an astronaut. Thumbs up there. Two thumbs in fact. Great use of smoke by both sides to be honest. Panther 4 they're riding. Very good, very good. Fighting Megas pushing forward here, going for the center victory point. More smoke there now from Nanami. It's just smoke all over the place. Panther going straight for the paratroopers. Major knocked out, a small win there for Nanami over God is an astronaut. There's still, of course, a lot more killing to be done there. Grenade to be popped in the raft. Got Scott's got Sherman. There's one of the fights makes there. Goldman takes out the entire unit. Wooksook! Wipe! That's quite painful over for Nanami. We got 133 versus 275. And the west side got the western victory point being fuel point being seized. Nanami seems to have stalled out. He but says God is an astronaut. What are they both thinking? What are they planning? Got 129 versus 275. Grab the eastern fuel point. Fixing up the Panther 4. Scott holding back. Jackson as well ready. Holding back the Fallschirmjägers. Panther 4 they're fixed up. Need to get the second one fixed up as well there. Lightning gun there firing off smoke here in the center. Thumbs up. Jackson setting out there on its own. Bit risky to get caught in a bad spot here, but the tank was in the Panther 4, and there you go. Panther 4 catching the paratroopers here. Good kill. Again, they'll spot it. Paratroopers getting squished and shot to bits. Jumping around with more paratroopers here. Looks like a push here for Nanami that can so extended. Need to fall back there. Could be wiped and stolen by God. It's national. Could be quite devastating there for Nanami. But there you go, a careful, that's a great hit, gaining veteran for in the process. excellent. Unless, of course, you're the Americans, in which case that is not excellent. Troops been forcing healing. More Fallschirmjägers for Nanami. More Fallschirmjägers. Truly has there been someone who believes so much in the Fallschirmjägers as Nanami? I do not know. Lining up for another push here across the stream. Route being hammered the Panther 4s. Anti-tankers lining up. Sneaking up some fighters from the west. Interesting enough not upgrading them anymore. Perhaps setting up munitions for a band assault or for the airborne assault, which, well, time of course could really do a lot better Gods and Astronaut. Directed on the Panther 4 there by the anti-tank guns. Jackson moving up as well there. And force the infantry to deal with the paratroopers. There you go, gunning them with the Fallschirmjägers with the BAR. Got more paratroopers inbound for Gods and Astronaut. We got a lot of paratroopers this match. 3 squads on both sides. I don't think we've actually seen that before. Well, that's exciting. Riveting. Wondrous. Destroying the heavy cover of the Panther 4 there. Both Panther 4s ready. Bit of a standoff here between Nanami and God is an Astronaut. Goes up Misham there. Got hit. Down to half health. Fallschirmjägers pushing forwards. Looks like Nanami's going to go for it. Deutschland! And there you go, airborne assault. It's time for some push. Almost got the Jackson there. Half health. Falcon keep pushing forward. Got Scott Fang Wei there, getting a quick kill there. Fifth guard setting up a quick get focused down. Panther 4's not supporting though. Get moving forwards here. Falcon makes me gunned down. The kept going to hit the Jackson. Almost got it. Luftwaffe keeps doing down death there. Go moving in and takes out the Jackson and the Sherman. A double kill there for the Luftwaffe. So I'm sure Goering will take all credit for that one. Again, we're cleared out. They're still moving forward, but that was definitely quite a blow there. To God, it's an Astronaut. Lost most of his armor there. Tank getting hit by the anti-tankers there. Parrots taking a huge hit there. Being gutted. Too close up for the line for the Panther. Get a great hit there. Destroying my Kenma tonight. To God, it's an Astronaut. That was a beautiful push here by Nanami. Bit awkward, but in the end, beautiful. How will God is an Astronaut react to this? I mean, he lost pretty much almost all of his armor except for the Scot, and the Scot's not going to help against the Panther 4s. The Scot's not going to help at all. Getting pushed back by the paratroopers. There we go. Gods and Astronaut surrenders, realizing the situation is pretty much hopeless. So well played there by Nanami. Really risky, reckless at times, but definitely just very aggressive and very aggressively minded. It definitely seemed to disrupt Gods and Astronaut. The ones, of course, he sort of realized this, he could sort of counter this and slowly turn the game around. But then there was some issues there. Particularly, I feel like the Jackson was just a weird choice here by Gods and Astronaut. Also, I really would have liked to see some Thompsons. I think they've been very disruptive in part for Nanami's tactics and also allowed him to be more aggressive himself. But, you know, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a fan, but do tell enemies. And of course, if you like what we do, you can consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the description. This is Imperial Links in cheers. Thank you for watching. If you're all a wonderful audience, hope to see you all tomorrow again for another exciting episode. Bye.